Good afternoon and welcome to the Commentary Hub's alternative live coverage of Bolton Wanderers against Barnsley in the League One playoff semi-final first leg. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and last night Peterborough United put 4 past Sheffield Wednesday to give them a huge advantage going into the second leg on Thursday. Will Barnsley do the same to Bolton at the University of Bolton Stadium? If they do, it'll be their first competitive league win at this ground, as they've never won there. The last time Barnsley beat the Trotters in any competitive league match was in May 1994, when they were both in the first division, and Bolton had their home fixtures at Pikes Lane, which was their ground until 1997, when they moved into what was then the Reebok Stadium. It's now, as I've mentioned, it's now the University of Bolton. As I mentioned, it's now the University of Bolton Stadium. But anyway, let's go on with it and go through the teams. Starting with Bolton. In goal is number 19, James Trafford. Number 6, George Johnston. Number 5, the captain, Ricardo Santos. Number 18, Owen Toal. Number 27, Randall Williams. Number 22, Kyle Dempsey. Number 8, Josh Sheehan. Number 21, Connor Bradley. Number 16, Aaron Morley. Number 10, Dion Charles. And number 24, Elias Kachunga. For Barnsley, the formation is as follows. In goal is number 1, Harry Isted. Number 12, Bobby Thomas. Number 6, the captain, Mads Anderson. Number 5, Liam Kitching. Number 12, number 2, Jordan Williams. Number 30, Adam Phillips. Number 48, Luca Connell. Number 8, Herbie Kane. Number 7, Nicky Cadden. Number 31, Slobodan Tedic. And number 44, Devante Cole. We'll go through the substitutions in a moment or two. For Bolton, they have had a really good season in League One, finishing in the top 5, and they also won the EFL trophy in March by beating League One champions Plymouth Argyle 4-0. And that has just added to their resurgence since their administration difficulties and being wound up towards the end of being wound up in 2019. And with a season like this, Bolton and their manager Ian Evatt have every reason to be confident. 3 out of their last 4 league games were wins, and they finished in the top 6. And they finished in the top 6 where they had been since March. The last time they were in the playoffs were in the 2000 to 2001 season, and were promoted to the Premier League after beating Preston North End 3-0 at the Millennium Stadium. The last time they reached the playoff final at Wembley was in 1995 when they beat Reading. This, of course, was at the old Wembley. Never have they reached the playoff final at the new Wembley Stadium. Barnsley are looking to return to the championships via the playoffs after being relegated last season. They did, however, beat Bolton away 2-1 in the FA Cup first round. Santos, which was an own goal by Santos, and a further one from Adam Phillips. Since then, since then they've all, but they drew against Bolton in the first fixture. They drew against Bolton in the first fixture and lost 3-0 and lost 3-0 at home in January. So these stats could well count against them. Onto the substitutes now for Bolton. The reserve goalkeeper is we'll actually mention the substitutes in a moment or two. Actually, the goalkeeper. So we'll talk about Bolton substitutes in a moment or two, but first we'll go on to Barnsley. The reserve goalkeeper, number 40, Brad Collins. Number 26, Ziad Lakerche. Number 3, John Russell. Number 10, Josh Benson. Number 16, Luke Thomas. Number 9, James Norwood. And number 47, Max Waters. George Thomason, I think, will start in goal. We'll get confirmation a little later on. But the other players are number 3, Declan John. Number 4, MJ Williams. Number 35, Cameron Jerome. Number 20, Kieran Lee. Number 29, Victor Adeboyejo. And number 11, Dan Lundulu. Charles and Kachunga replaces the injured Shola Shortire, who scored the first goal in their last match against Bristol Rovers away on Sunday. Barnsley lost 2-0 against Peterborough United in their last competitive fixture in their last match on Sunday. So they'll be hoping. They'll be hoping that this will be of. They'll be hoping to get a goal in quickly. So they'll be hoping to win this one in order to give themselves further confidence going into the second leg. Our match officials, and now we can talk about our match officials. Our referee, the man in black. the man in the middle, I should say, is Andrew Kitchen, and he has refereed 81 matches this season, and this will be his 12th in League One, and he has so far brandished 80 yellow cards and given out 1 second yellow and 3 direct reds. Assistant referees Justin Amy and Joe Simpson. The 4th official is Tom Reeves, and reserve assistant referee is Richard Woodward. Michael Duff is the manager of Barnsley. He formerly managed Cheltenham Town, and Ian Everts. He has been the manager of Bolton since autumn 2020. Famously promoted Barrow from the National League to the Football League, and under Ian Everts, Bolton's resurgence has been partly thanks to him. And the fans have now just about taken their place inside the stadium. The one and only Wanderers, so says the banner, which the Bolton fans proudly proclaim. There are some Barnsley supporters in there too, and we tick down towards kickoff. Kickoff is in around 6 minutes' time. Just got enough time to plug what's coming up tomorrow. Coming up tomorrow on the Commentary Hub is Everton against Manchester City at 2:00 with John JB Stoddard, and at 4:30 and at 4:30 it's Arsenal against Brighton and Hove Albion. With Paul James and Russ Vernon. Russ is also hosting the Everton Manchester City match with JB. So 2 Premier League games to look forward to tomorrow, and so 2 Premier League games to look forward to tomorrow, and at 7:00 on the same day, it's the first of the league. It's It's the second League Two playoff match between Bradford City and Carlisle United. So lots of football to look forward to. We also hope to bring you as much of the playoffs throughout. We also hope to bring you as much coverage of the playoffs as we can throughout the coming week. And one thing I should also mention is that both Bolton and Barnsley actually finished in the top two of the First Division table in the 96-97 season, with both being promoted to the Premier League. Barnsley were relegated a season later. And looking at high pressure, Barnsley are higher than Bolton, though Bolton are greater in build up, and both are equally matched in terms of defense and attack, and also in set pieces. Like I say, the game is taking place at the University of Bolton Stadium, and it is a glorious afternoon. It is a glorious afternoon. Blue skies and sunshine in this part of Lancashire. Who will be the shining lights at the end of 90 minutes going into the second leg? And one or two of the Bolton fans just having a bit of a joke. The last few fans making their way into the ground. Some of them taking advantage to soak up the sun. Some of them taking advantage to soak up the sun. It's about 19 degrees in Bolton right now, and Michael Duff just having a quick word with Ian Abbott. Both teams getting ready to come out of the. Both teams getting ready to come out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. Bolton wearing the white shirts and black shorts and white socks. Barnsley wearing their home red shirts, red socks and white shorts. And Ricardo Santos and Mads Anderson lead both sets of teams out of the tunnel and onto the pitch. And the fans greet the players as they make their way onto the centre of the pitch for the traditional handshakes and other formalities. Herbie Kane could be a player to look out for a midfielder, but the main man I'd say to watch out for Barnsley is top scorer Devante Cole with 16. Elias Kachunga and Dion Charles are the two forwards for Bolton. Charles is the top scorer for the Trotters with 20. Also, do not discount Aaron Morley. Now we can go through the formation, starting with Bolton, with Trafford in goal. Santos, Twal and Johnston are the back three. Bradley, Sheehan, Dempsey and Williams are in midfield. Aaron Morley flanking the two forwards, Charles and Kachunga. I have a feeling the substitute goalkeeper. Is either Declan John or George Thomason. We'll keep you posted on that. But if you have any idea, then let me know. Barnsley formation now with Istad in goal, Thomas, Anderson and Kitching the back three in defence, with Williams, Connell and Cadden flanking Phillips and Kane. Tedic and Cole are the two forwards. So the tension So the tension and the excitement now mounting as we get closer to kickoff. And just a customary photo now. Mark of respect as both sets of captains pose with a few people. And Ricardo Santos named in the League One Team of the Season, alongside a few Sheffield Wednesday players who were mentioned last night. Who will it be? Who will it be to kick off? Who will it be to kick off first? We will let you know. And as for Luca Connell, he was ranked second in the team in terms. He's ranked second in the team in terms of assists. Joined from Celtic last summer, and the Bolton team now getting into a last-minute huddle, discussing what tactics they are going to use. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how they do against Barnsley. They normally do very well against the Tykes. Have beaten them here. Have beaten them at this ground. Have beaten them at the UOB Stadium several times. And Ian Evatt stands expectantly behind the touchline. Michael Duff taking a quick drink of water, and it will be Bolton that will kick us off, and the Bolton players and quite a few others take the knee as a mark of as in the ongoing fight against racism. And away we go then for the semi-final first leg at the University of Bolton Stadium between Bolton and Barnsley. And Bolton have the first touch of the ball. It's being played forward to Connor Bradley. Bradley under pressure from Cadden, who I think has pushed him down. We can now take a look on my monitor, and it was indeed Cadden who tugged on his shirt, but it was Kitching who pushed him down to the ground. Kitching stood in as captain in place of Anderson in last week's match. Free kick given to Bolton, and it will be Morley that will take the free kick. So could Bolton put themselves on the score sheet this early in the game? And the Bolton forwards stand expectantly, and it's in! Or is it? We're just going to have to wait and see. I thought the ball went in, but according to what I'm seeing on the monitor, it's still 0-0. And it's now confirmed that the ball just went a fraction too wide. I couldn't see anyone who had come close to it. It might have been Johnston, but after almost 1.5 minutes, it's Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. As instead, kick clears the ball out of the Barnsley goal, but Bolton managed to take it back. Now it's with Barnsley. The ball's now being played down wing to Nicky Cadden. Cadden passing to I couldn't see who, but it might have been Herbie Kane. Now the ball is back with Bolton, and the player goes down. It was Herbie Kane who fouled him. I'm now beginning to think it was Aaron Morley that was been fouled. No, it wasn't. It was Connor Bradley. Bradley fouled by Cadden. Bradley fouled by Kane, and Bradley tried to get away from Kane, but Kane I think just tripped him up. And will that have given another free kick to Bolton? It has. And it will be Owen Toal to pass to the captain Santos, who in turn passes to James Trafford. After almost 2.5 minutes now, it's Bolton 0. It still remains Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. And Ryan Clark, who listened to our coverage of Peterborough against Wednesday last night, has said, "Come on, you Reds!" As I mentioned on the programme last night, he is a Barnsley fan. But I'd have to say at the moment, Bolton are in front in terms of possession, though Barnsley, I think, aren't too far behind. Goal kick now to Barnsley. It'll be cleared away. It'll be cleared away. It'll be cleared away by Harry Estad. He's made 20 appearances and he's made 20 appearances this season on loan from Luton Town. He clears the ball forward, but it's given away to Bolton, and it goes straight to Estad's opposite number, James Trafford, and Trafford passes the ball to Owen To'o. To'o now to Santos. Santos passing now to Johnston, and Johnston trying to cross forward to I think that might have been Dion Charles, but Barnsley were quick to react to that, and a Tykes player has gone down. I think Sheehan might have fouled him. We're just going to have to see who it is. Was it Bobby Thomas? No, it wasn't. It was Luca Connell who was fouled by Josh Sheehan, and Connell back up on his feet. He's clearly okay, and it's a free kick to Barnsley, which was quickly taken by Mads Anderson. Anderson crossing the ball forward to Nicky Cadden. It's Cadden for Barnsley, formerly of Forest Green Rovers, is Cadden, and Cadden was almost tackled by Connor Bradley's, but it's a throw in to Barnsley. Barnsley get ready to take the throw with Bobby Thomas. Thomas throws, and the ball goes into the goal area. Devante Cole should have been closer to it, but the ball has now been given away to Bolton. But straight away it goes to Jordan Williams of Barnsley, and it goes back towards Harry Estad. Just over 5 minutes have been played now. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones. Don't forget, we're also on JB Sports, the Commentary Hub 2, Storm FM, and we're also live on Twitch as Barnsley now have possession with Bobby Thomas, but it goes over the line for a throw. The ball goes back in. The ball is now back in play. It's Barnsley on the offensive now with Nicky Cadden, but tackled by Bolton. Number 27, Randall Williams with the ball, but given away back to Barnsley. Cadden crossing the ball forward now to Devante Cole. Devante Cole couldn't keep it in, and but the referee is saying play on. I think the ball did fractionally go over the line, but the ref knows better than I, as the ball is now with the captain Anderson. Anderson now passing to Estad, and Estad now plays the ball forwards to Cadden. But it still remains with Barnsley. Taken away, though, by Bolton, but given straight back to Barnsley through Herbie Kane. Cole, now Kane again. Kane passing to, I think that was Slobodan Tedic, but kept out with a defensive tackle by Ricardo Santos. Tedic had the right intentions, but Bolton can count themselves lucky that Santos was there to prevent the oncoming goal. Corner to Barnsley. Bolton may later rue that move, and the ball goes straight into the 18-yard box. Devante Cole looked like he was going to take the ball, but Bolton were quick to defend. And it's over, and it's over the line and it goes over the line for a throw in to Barnsley. A Bolton player may have gotten the last touch of the ball. Throw in to be taken by Liam Kitching. He throws to Mads Anderson, although Anderson had to pass to Estad in goal as Dion Charles was lurking behind him. The ball now over the line again. Michael Duff looking on pensively in the action area, and most of the action has been 49%, which has been in the Bolton goal area. Santos Santos with the ball for Bolton. So Barnsley will have caught up massive. So Barnsley will have caught up massively in terms of possession. I feel ball now being passed around Bolton to Johnston. That was by Charles, but it's over. But it's all over the line once again. And Michael Duff, he's won the playoff. He won the playoffs 2 times with Cheltenham Town and Burnley, but that was as a player. And Ian Everty also won 2 playoff finals for Blackpool when he in his playing days. So both of them know what it's like to win a playoff and be promoted to a higher division. After almost 9 minutes, it's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0, and the ball now goes over the line for a Bolton throw, which they do, and Ricardo Santos pushing a player down onto the ground, but that has little effect as Barnsley still managed to have the ball. It's Herbie Kane passing down to Cadden. Cadden has to be careful, but he loses the ball to Connor Bradley, and it goes over the line again. I think it will be another Barnsley throw. Bolton I feel are starting to lose that. Bolton I feel are starting to bottle it a bit. They're on the attack so early on, but they just can't seem to get through Barnsley's defensive wall at the moment. The ball is now with Elias Kachunga. Kachunga going into the 8, crosses the ball into the 18-yard box, and that was almost a goal by Charles. That is the closest anyone has come. That is virtually the closest anyone has come to scoring in the Barnsley goal area. Nice cross by Kachunga towards Charles, but Charles' shot was too aggressive in my view. That was too much power, and over the crossbar it went. After 10.5 minutes, it still remains Bolton Wanderers 0, Barnsley 0, and it's a goal, and it will be a goal kick to Esther. It'll be a goal kick to Estad. Estad clears the ball up. Estad clears the ball out of goal, but it's given back to Bolton and Johnston. Johnston crossing the ball for Johnston, trying to cross the ball forward, but intercepted by Barnsley. Now it's back with Bolton. Barnsley head it with Anderson, who heads towards Bobby Thomas. Thomas crossing the ball. Thomas trying to cross forward to Tedic, but it goes over the line. And but right now, even though Barnsley may be in front in terms of possession, in terms of who I think will win out at the end, it's very much 50-50, still up in the air right now. And it will be it looks like it will be a throw in to and I think it'll be a throw in to one of the clubs. I think it's a Barnsley throw in. And Elias Kachunga, he won he was part of the Huddersfield Town squad that won the 2017 Championship playoff final against Reading. That final went to penalties, and the ball now being played forward to Devante Cole for Barnsley, but he was cut out by Bolton. He might have actually been offside. I'm just getting confirmation that the flag did indeed go up. Play now resumes with Santos for Bolton. Pass down the wing to Owen Toal. Toal now passing back to Santos. Santos playing the ball forward to I couldn't see who was aiming for. It might have been Dion Charles. But intercepted by Barnsley. Ball just came off the ball's just come off the knee of Herbie Kane, so it'll be a throw in. So it'll be a throw in to Bolton and Bradley. Bradley throwing to Owen Toal now to Johnston. Johnston passing to, I think that was Randall Williams. Now back to Johnston. Johnston to James Trafford. Barnsley, I feel are starting to ramp up the pressure, but Bolton are still holding firm. Ball now being crossed forward to Dion Charles, but intercepted by Anderson for Barnsley. And the ball now being thrown by Bradley, but it's still intercepted by Bolton. And Kevin Benson says, "Thanks, bro. Remembering my friend's dad, who was Bolton." No, I don't exactly know what he means by that. So, Kevin, could you just clarify, please? Kitching takes the throw for Barnsley, and the ball is now, but the ball is given away to Bolton, and it's now caught by I think that was Bradley for it was caught by Bradley. I think Bolton were trying to make a go of it, but Isted was wise to it. After almost 14 and a half, after about 14 minutes and 20 seconds, it's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. The ball now rolled out of goal to Nicky Cadden. Cadden passing to Anderson. Anderson trying to cross the ball forward to Devante Cole, but cut out by Bolton. It's Cadden to throw. It'll be Cadden to throw for Barnsley. And Herbie Kane and a couple of players trying to get into the correct position to receive the ball. The ball now being thrown to Tedic, but caught by Bolton. Now it's back with Barnsley and Kitching trying to play the ball forwards, but it goes as far as James Trafford. Trafford rolls the ball back out to George Johnston. Johnston passes down the wing to Santos. Now it's with Kyle Dempsey, I think it was, and Dempsey tries to go, and it was actually Charles trying to go after the ball, but it was caught by Harry Isted. And that was great. That was great teamwork between Dempsey and Dion Charles, but Charles was impeded by Mads Anderson. A corner to Bolton. They're first of the game, and it'll be their second of the game. Their first of the game, I should say. Morley to take the corner. The ball goes straight into the 18-yard box. Picked up by Johnston. Johnston, can he find an opening? No! It was well defended by Kitching, I should say. And this goes to show that Bolton could be getting closer and closer to goal. The referee having a quick word with Elias Kachunga, and he wasn't impressed with something Kachunga must have done. But I couldn't see anything wrong. Johnston with the ball, but well caught by Liam Kitching. Had Kitching not been there, Bolton could have scored. Bolton could well have scored the opening game, and that was what Kachunga did to Harry Isted. I think he just pushed him back down onto the ground. Devante Cole. This is what happened earlier on between him and Johnston and Santos. I think he was impeded, and Santos trying to argue his point by the looks of it. Free kick to Barnsley. Can they capitalize? Can they take advantage of the free kick, whereas Bolton could not? Where Bolton could not early on in the game. Will it be Kane? I think it will probably be Herbie Kane that will take the free kick for the Tykes. They have scored 21 set-piece goals this season, but Ipswich are the top with 27 in League One. Free kick taken for Barnsley, but punched away though by Trafford and kept out by Bolton. So that set piece effort has gone down the drain. Barnsley still trying to press forward the attack, but it's Dempsey for Bolton with the ball. He passes to Elias Kachunga, and Kachunga now looking for Dion Charles. He's found him. Charles just outside the 18-yard box, trying to play it down to Kachunga, but kept out by Barnsley. Bolton going for another attack, but again kept out by Barnsley. It's Herbie Kane now with the ball for the Tykes, but he's been fouled by Connor Bradley. And Bradley now taking a look at him, understandably concerned and hoping he's all right. And the referee Andrew Kitchen now coming over to see what the matter is. I just hope right now that Kane isn't too badly hurt. I think Bradley just rammed into his leg. That looked unintentional in my view. And this was the free kick by Barnsley taken by Connell. The ball he aimed straight for the goal, and it was almost saved by James Trafford, but the ball's momentum forced it to go wide. It's Isted to take the free kick for Barnsley. Just over 19.5 minutes in, it's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0 at the University of Bolton Stadium. Mads Anderson now with the ball for Barnsley. Anderson passing to Bobby Thomas, and Thomas now trying to play up front to Charles, but the ball saved by James Trafford. Trafford passes the ball around to Owen Tawal. Tawal now to Josh Sheehan. It's Sheehan to George Johnston. Johnston couldn't pass it to Kyle Dempsey as Barnsley got in the way, and the ball now kept out. The ball kept out though by the Barnsley goalkeeper. Barnsley, their last playoff attempt was in the 2021 season. But it's Tadic now with the ball, but he's being manhandled by George Johnson. I think he tugged on his shirt a couple of times, and Barnsley could well take advantage of this throw-in, which is very close to the goal. Will a long range throw be enough to put them? Will a long range throw be enough to put them in front? The ball's now thrown to Jordan Williams. That's a surprise because I thought Barnsley were going to go for a long range throw towards the goal. Barnsley now have the ball inside the 18-yard box, but nothing comes of it as it's still being defended by Bolton. Bolton now retake the ball, and the ball is now being played down to I think that's Dempsey or Kachunga. It was in fact Kachunga. It's Morley crossing the ball up the wing towards Randall Williams. Williams keeps it inside the corner. He has to get around Bobby Thomas. He crosses, but the ball is kept out. But the ball is kept out of play. The ball is kept out by Barnsley, and this will surely mean another corner to Bolton. Very entertaining match so far. Difficult. Neither side willing to concede. A corner has been given to Bolton, and it's been palmed away though by Isted and kept out once again by Bolton as Bradley couldn't take advantage of the rebound. It's Randall for Bolton. Now the ball has gone to Kyle Dempsey. Dempsey back towards Randall, but cleared out by Connell. After 23 minutes, it's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. And will it be a free kick? And a free kick has been given to Bolton for something I did not see, or is it just going to be a throw? It's a throw in to be taken by Randall Williams. Randall Williams throws the ball into the 18-yard box, but Barnsley sees that and send the ball out. Now it went to Connor Bradley, who passed to James Trafford. Trafford crosses the ball down wing, I should say, to Elias Kachunga, and the ball now between Tadic and Sheehan. I think Tadic has fouled Sheehan. So a throw-in has been given to Bolton. The ball has now ended up at the feet of Ricardo Santos. Santos passes to George Johnston. Johnston now passing to Josh Sheehan, who in turn passes to Owen Toal. Good defensive play by Bolton at the present time. But Santos crossing the ball. Santos goes for a long cross, but he couldn't send the ball to the person he was aiming at. I think it was either Morley or Charles. Throw-in has been given to Barnsley. It'll be Kitching to take the throw. Dries the ball with a towel. Kitching throws the ball. Kitching now throws the ball, but headed up by one of the Bolton players. It goes over the line. I think it's going over the line for a Bolton throw because it was headed out by Kyle Dempsey by the looks of it. Throw taken by Herbie Kane, but he loses the ball. To Bolton, and Bolton almost take the ball through Randall Williams. It goes up. It's over the line once. It's over the line once again, and it will be a Bolton throw. Bradley throws to Owen Toal. Toal now crosses up the wing to Johnston. It's Johnston. Johnston towards Elias Kachunga. Kachunga. Now it's Elias Kachunga now with the ball, but he's offside. And Bolton and Barnsley have now had one side apiece. Kachunga clearly judged to have been offside. He was a long way ahead of the last Barnsley defender. And so it'll be a free kick to Barnsley, taken by the goalkeeper instead. But now the ball is firmly back with Bolton. It's Toal. Toal crossing forward to Dion Charles, but Charles has to make a back part. Charles has to pass back to Johnston. Now the ball is with Randall. Randall crossing the ball forward to Johnston, but saved by Harry Isted. And it just goes to show that neither goalkeeper is willing to concede an inch to the opposing team. After a little over 26 and a half minutes, it's Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. As a trying to go for the ball is Slobodan Tedic, but well held by Bolton. And Randall Williams, he was a League Two playoff finalist in 2020 with Exeter City. So both sides will have had sets of both sides will have had sets of players that have had experience of playoff finalists over the years. Bobby Thomas to take the throw for Barnsley. Dries the ball with his towel. He gets ready to throw, and it goes into the Bolton goal area. Barnsley tried to take advantage of it, but can't because Bolton do really well to defend. None more so than the defenders. Johnston and Toal will and I think it'll be another throw, and I think it'll be another throw in to Barnsley. It'll be Bobby Thomas that will take the throw. He throws into the 18-yard box, but headed out by Santos. Another attempt at goal by Barnsley. Almost sent in by Adam Phillips, but it just scraped the crossbar and over it went. Phillips saw an open opportunity, and in fact, it didn't scrape the crossbar, but headed towards the stands. And it still remains Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. But for how much longer? And it's Devante Cole with the ball. He passes to Tadic. Held firm by Trafford. And that could well have been the opening goal that Barnsley needed. I have to say that this game is proving a lot more intense and competitive. Proving a lot more competitive and intense than the match between Peterborough and Sheffield Wednesday last night. The ball has gone over the line though, and it will be a throw in to Barnsley. Trafford has kept 26 clean sheets this season across the EFL. The ball's now being played to Luca Connell, who passes to Thomas, and now it ends up with Harry Isted in goal. Isted clears the ball forward. Is he going to pass it to Devante Cole? But it's gone over the line for a throw to Barnsley. It might have been deflected by a Bolton player. And now the ball is with, and it's another throw in to Barnes. So it's a throw into Barnsley to be taken by Liam Kitching. Kitching throws to Devante Cole, but headed away though by Bolton, I should say. And now the ball's picked up again by Kitching. A throw to Barnsley. It's with Bobby Thomas. Thomas passing to Jordan Williams. Now it's Adam Phillips under pressure from Ryan Morley. Morley, superb. Morley successfully tackles, but it's given straight back to Barnsley. Barnsley have the ball with Cole, but again defended by Bolton, and but Barnsley aren't giving up the ball. A foul by Kachunga on I think that was Liam Kitching, and he's not happy. And he's not happy. I think he might have said something to him, or did he? We'll have to check to see what happens. Ian Evans is also upset. A free kick to Barnsley. I thought Kachunga was just going to run away with it and try and play the ball forward, but he's done something which has allegedly caught the referee's attention. Free kick to Barnsley to be taken by Connell, and Connell goes for a long-range kick into the 18-yard box, but kept out by Bolton. Adam Phillips tries to go for the rebounds, but is kept away by Aaron Morley. But it's kept out, I should say, by Aaron Morley. So we're just over 32 minutes in. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. Neither team is willing to concede. And it will be a throw in to be taken by Bobby Thomas. But just as I say that, Bolton looked like they were going to try and take the ball off, but Barnsley held firm. Jordan Williams to I think that's Liam Kitching. Kitching trying to play the ball forward into the 18-yard box, but kept out by Bolton. It's Jordan Williams again for Barnsley. Now towards Kitching. Kitching to Nicky Cadden, but tackled again by Elias Kachunga and Cadden and Nicky Cadden trying to calm himself down a bit. It's Michael Duff walking around up and down the pitch, walking around up and down the touchline, looking very anxious and pensive. Bolton have had 4 shots, Barnsley 5. Bolton haven't had any shots on target, so I didn't quite get how many shots on target Barnsley had. But it's another throw. It'll be another throw in to Barnsley, and the throw in will be taken by Liam Kitching. Kitching stands with the ball over his head. He's looking for the best person to throw to right now. You could say he could throw to Tedic. Tedic trying to head the ball towards Devante Cole. Devante Cole tries to go for a shot, but it's wide. And he knows it he knows that could well have gone in. Disappointment etched across his face. He scored 8 goals in his last 15 appearances. He'll be hoping to add to that, I am sure. The game has now been restarted with Bolton in play. Trafford passing to George Johnston, and Johnston crossing the ball at the field to Kyle Dempsey, but again nicked by Barnsley, and a Bolton player has been fouled by Tedic. I couldn't see who it was that fouled him. Was the referee going to go into his pockets? I thought he was, but he isn't. So play can now resume, and it's Adam Phillips for Barnsley. Now it's been taken by Dempsey. Dempsey or Randall passes to Kachunga, and now Ryan Morley. Morley has passed to Owen Toal. Owen Toal trying to find somebody in the 18-yard box, but headed away by Barnsley. The Tykes have taken the ball back. It's Devante Cole with the ball, and he has to pass back to somebody who I couldn't see. No, it goes back to Cole. Tedic is signalling for the ball, but Cole passes to Connell. The ball just outside the 18-yard box now, caught by Trafford, and that was a messy setup by Barnsley. Cole should have crossed down to Tedic at the first attempt. And that is why at this moment, it still remains 0-0 between both sides. Harry Stead with the ball. Harry Stead catches the ball for Barnsley. He rolls it out to the captain Anderson. Anderson passing to Liam Kitching, and Kitching now trying to cross the ball, trying to play the ball forward, but is caught by James Trafford. Trafford now passing the ball to George Johnston. Now Randall now passes the ball to, I couldn't see who. Now it goes back to Randall. Randall now to Trafford. Now it's Santos. Santos passing down wing to Toal. Toal now to I think that's I think that was to Kachunga, but it went as far as Dion Charles. A player has subsequently been fouled. I couldn't see who though. I'm just going to take another look at it, and it was indeed Elias Kachunga, and it might have been Anderson who was the perpetrator. So a free kick now to Bolton Wanderers to be taken by Aaron Morley, I should say, not Ryan Morley. And so Aaron Morley calmly backs away. He strikes the ball with his foot, but the ball is kept out of goal by Barnsley. 38 minutes in. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0, but will this next corner by Bolton change all that? Randall Williams gets ready to kick the ball from the corner into the 18-yard box. It's Williams towards George Johnston, but caught again caught by Harry Isted. Although Isted has fallen hard onto the ground. We'll check. We'll find out if he's hurt or find out if he's hurt in a moment or two. But that was a really nasty fall. He just caught the ball, but then did an impromptu somersault and landed really hard on his side. He might well have hurt his hip in the process, but he's able to carry on playing, which is good to see. He gets ready to kick the ball out. Gets ready to kick the ball out of the Barnsley. He's ready to kick the ball out of the Barnsley goal, which he does, and it goes as far and it goes to Devante Cole, but Cole has to pass to Tadic, and now intercepted by Bolton. But it goes back to Barnsley and Luca Connell. Connell passing to Kitching, and Kitching tries to play the ball forward to Tadic, but held firm by Bolton. With 5 minutes to go, and we've now got 5 minutes to go until half time. It's been a really tense and action-packed first half, with both sides still holding firm and unable to score the first goal of the match. It's Santos passing to Owen Toal to Kachunga, but taken away by Kitching. Kitching to Adam Phillips. Now it's with Tadic back towards Adam Phillips. Adam Phillips now playing the ball forward, which he has. It was loose. It went as far as Kane. Now it's Nicky Cadden. Nicky Cadden tries to find an opening, but is cut out by Connor Bradley. Bradley did really well to cut the ball up. Bradley did really well to deflect the ball away at the last minute, but it's given a corner to Barnsley. It'll be Anderson to take the corner, I think, or will it? We'll just have to wait to see. We'll just have to wait and see who will. Just have to wait and see who will take the corner. It's Luca Connell. It's Luca Connell that will take the corner for the Tykes, and he walks calmly onto the pitch and towards the corner. He gets ready to hit the ball. Cole gets into a bit of a tangle with a Connor Bradley, and Cole goes down. It was rather messy in the 18-yard box. And will Barnsley be able to take advantage of this with Nicky Cadden? No, Cadden just couldn't take advantage. Couldn't take advantage of the fact that he was unmarked, and the scoreline still remains deadlocked. But Barnsley tried to go for another attempt in the 18-yard box through Herbie Kane, but held still by Bolton. It's so Herbie Kane did well to pass to Luca Connell, but Connell missed. That was the latest action. So a goal kick to Bolton. Trafford gets ready to it. Trafford clears the ball. Trafford clears the ball out of the net. I mean, goal, I should say, and it goes as far as a Connor Bradley, but the ball given away to Barnsley. It's Luca Connell passing to Bobby Thomas. Thomas with the ball. Thomas with the ball again now. Now, Mads Anderson. Anderson passing down to Liam Kitching, who passes back up to Bobby Thomas. Although he has to watch out for Dion Charles. Charles trying to pressurise him. Will Barnsley get the opening goal through Tadic? Cut out, tackled by Santos. And we've almost got a minute of normal time left. So this has been really, really tight throughout this game so far. Neither side still willing to concede. But Bobby Thomas gets ready to take the throw in for Barnsley. He throws into the 18-yard box. Now the ball is with Alan Phillips. Phillips tried to find someone to send it in the forwards position, but Santos was able to hold them off, I should say. Ball's now with Johnny Williams. Williams to Tadic, but tackled really well by Kyle Dempsey. Barnsley, I feel, are creating more chances than Bolton. They're just not. They just can't seem to finish them off. And we now approach the 45th minute, and 1 minute have been added on. Both sides need to take advantage of the next 50 seconds if they are to get themselves onto the score sheets. A throw-in has been thrown to Bolton to be taken by Connor Bradley. Bradley throws to I couldn't see who. That might have been Elias Kachunga. A player's gone down, but the referee's saying play on. Ball now being played forward by Barnsley, but headed away by Trafford, who stepped out of his goal. Just going to take another look at it. It was Bradley who collided with Devante Cole, and Bradley unfortunately suffered for it. No further action as the halftime whistle has been blown. A really tense and action-packed first half, but it finishes Bolton Wanderers 0, Barnsley 0. The next 45 minutes is crucial for both sides, as it will determine who will have the advantage going into the second leg. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back just before the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Bolton Wanderers against Barnsley in the League One playoff semi-final first leg. Before we carry on with the action in the second half, just got time to go through. Half-time scores in the Premier League. But what I should mention first is that Leeds United drew 2-2 at home against Newcastle United. Half-time scores in the Premier League: Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1, AFC Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, and Southampton 0, Fulham 0. And that draw for Leeds United will have done them no favours whatsoever. They still remain 18th, third from last, and close to relegation. And talking of the Premier League, there are two games coming to you from us tomorrow. It's Everton against Manchester City at 2:00. At 2:00 with John Stothard and Russ Vernon. Then at 4:00, Arsenal are at home to Brighton, again with Paul James and JB Stothard. Looking very close between the top two. Manchester City and Arsenal separated by just 1 point. But back to the here and now as Barnsley. Both Barnsley and Bolton get ready to come out of the tunnel and onto the pitch for the second half, and we will have final results from the Premier League towards the end of the programme. Onto the pitch come the Barnsley players. Ian Evetts gets ready to take his position in the manager's seat in the dugouts, and the Bolton fans are cheering their players on now that they have come back onto the field of play. A really tense and exciting first half, as I mentioned in commentary. Both sides had really good chances at goal, but neither could break through. It'll be Barnsley that will restart the match, and the referee wants to making sure that everything is okay. Everyone is in their correct position. Everyone is in the correct position. And he raises his arms, gets ready to blow the whistle, synchronizes his watch. He blows the whistle, and it's the second half at the University of Bolton Stadium between Bolton and Barnsley. That didn't take long for the ball to go out of play, and it will be a Bolton throw by Randall Williams. Williams passing to Johnston. It goes to Trafford in goal. Trafford clearing the ball forward to Johnston, and Bolton now playing the ball forward, and Bolton now trying to play the ball forward, but tackled by Adam Phillips for Barnsley. It now goes to Harry Isted in the Barnsley goal area. Isted clears the ball forward, but headed by Randall Williams, who falls onto the ground. So all in all, it will be a Barnsley throw, and the ball will be thrown by Bobby Thomas. Thomas throws the ball around to Barnsley, but it is cut out by Bolton and Barnsley. So Bolton take the throw with Randall Williams. It's thrown back to Barnsley, and Luca Connell pushed onto the ground by Elias Kachunga. The referee saying play on. Dempsey to Dion Charles, but cut out by Bobby Thomas. I think the referee was wrong for play to go on. That looked like a really bad challenge by Kachunga. If he's not careful, I fear he will go in. I fear he will be given a yellow card. And down onto the ground goes Johnny Williams. He slid. I think he slid and fell onto his backside. But it's a throw-in. It's a throw-in all the same to Bolton, and Luca Connell is and Luca Connell clearly shouting about something. I think he might have been trodden on at some point, which is something I did not see. Anyway, it's Johnston passing to Ricardo Santos. Santos to George Johnston. Johnston back to Santos. It's Santos passing down the wing to Randall Williams. Randall Williams trying to play the ball forward to was trying to play the ball forward to John Charles, but cut out by Barnsley. And Bolton have conceded second half. Bolton have had the fewest second half goals conceded this season with 17. But the ball now given straight to Adam Phillips, who passes to Herbie Kane. Kane now to Johnny Williams. Johnny Williams crossing to Devante Cole, but it's over the crossbar. Cole disappointed. Cole disappointed that he couldn't head it in. But the setup by Johnny Williams was good. Devante Cole was in the right place. He just couldn't get his aim right. And a change of boots. And a change of boots is required for Luca Connell. I think he might have been complaining that one of his boots was broken or something. And also the Barnsley goalkeeper Harry Ested is being checked over by the Barnsley physios. So Luca Connell changes it. So Luca Connell changing his boot, has already changed his boots. That's something I've never seen. That's something I've never really seen before. Michael Duff, who was overseeing this, walked back to the dugout. The physios were feeling Harry Ested's right foot. It appears to be all right, so he can walk back to goal. Ested making sure himself that he is able to carry on playing, because he might have received a knock to the ankle after nearly 50 minutes of play overall. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. Ball rolled out of goal to Ricardo Santos. Santos now passing down wing to George Johnston. Johnston to Randall Williams. Randall Williams now playing the ball forward to Elias Kachunga. Kachunga sandwiched, I should say, by Williams and Connell. No foul has gone against both. No foul has gone against both players, although it has awarded Bolton a free kick. And taking the free kick will be Aaron Morley. Morley kicks the ball into the 18-yard box. It was almost sent in by Santos. He just missed. Unlucky for the Bolton captain was just unlucky to not get there in time. He should have been a bit quicker with his reaction though, and that could have been a golden opportunity given to him to head the ball to head the ball in. Instead, he just missed. And the deadlock still hasn't been beaten, although I think it was mindful that it was actually close to his hand. And he wisely moves his hand out of the way. Otherwise, he would have intentionally handballed it. But what do you think? Come to your own conclusions and let me know in the comments. As Randall Williams gives the ball away, concedes to Adam Phillips. Adam Phillips trying to cross the ball forward to Devante Cole, who just couldn't send it in. And it's still and after 52 minutes. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. Tedic and Cole both with equal opportunities to strike the ball in with their right feet. But it just wasn't to be. The ball now being played forward by Bolton. Caught by Kyle Dempsey, headed by Devante Cole towards Kitching, I think. Now the ball's been played back to Bolton, and the ball is now with Elias Kachunga, but it's been given away to Barnsley, and the ball is now with Nicky Cadden, but he's fouled by Connor Bradley. And will that be a free kick to the Tights? I think Cadden might have actually tripped over. I think Cadden might have tripped over, but it's been given. But it's a throw in all the same to Barnsley. But Bolton are able to steal the ball back. Now it's been retaken by Barnsley, and it goes straight to the Bolton stopper, James Trafford. Trafford rolls the ball back out to Bolton. The ball is now with Josh Sheehan. Sheehan passes to Dempsey. Now back towards Sheehan, and now the ball is with Elias Kachunga. Kachunga tries to pass to Bradley, but the ball was intercepted by Barnsley. It might have been Luca Connell, but neither side have taken advantage of opportunities presented to them. And after 54 minutes, it's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones. You can still hear us on JB Sports, the Commentary Hub 2, Storm FM, and Twitch. As Devante Cole momentarily had the ball for Barnsley, but was tackled by Bolton, and the ball now being played forward to Dion Charles, but well held by Mads Anderson. And now will that be a free kick or a throw in to Bolton? I think it's going to be a throw to be taken by Connor Bradley. Bradley throws to Tual. Tual now to Ricardo Santos, who passes to George Johnston. Johnston passes down the wing to Randall Williams. Williams now to Aaron Morley, but it's over the line for a Barnes. But it's gone over the line for a Bolton throw because it was just tapped out by Barnsley. Throw in taken by Randall Williams. The ball is now with Morley, and the ball now being played forward to Dion Charles, but he was too far back to get too close to the ball, and Harry Isted took advantage of this. Isted clears the ball out. Isted clears the ball out of the goal, but it's been given away to Bolton. And now the ball is with Dion Charles. Charles tries to pass to Kachunga, but the ball has been retackled by Barnsley. Bolton take it back though through Connor Bradley, and the ball is now with Elias Kachunga, who passes to Bradley. Bradley couldn't find someone to pass it to, and Barnsley were able to take advantage of this. It's Herbie Kane. trying to pass the ball around. It was almost picked up by Bradley, but Barnsley are still able to hold on. It's Luca Connell. Luca Connell tried to get the ball, but was rolled out. And Bolton and Barnsley have had 205 and 229 days, respectively, in the top six for the most of this season. Sheffield Wednesday have topped that with 271. Sheehan passes to John Charles, but deliberately fouled or shoved in the back by somebody from Barnsley. Couldn't see who, but play was still able to go on. Morley to Elias Kachunga, and Kachunga now passing back towards Morley. Now the ball is being crossed into the 18-yard box for Bolton, and the ball just about picked up by Aaron Morley. Tries to pass to Randall, but intercepted by Barnsley. It's Devante Cole with the ball, who's tackled and fouled by Dempsey. Will Dempsey be getting a yellow card? To me, that challenge looked a bit too soft. The expression on his face very vacant, indeed, and that will be it has given Barnsley a free kick. We're into the 58th minute. It's still Bolton 0, Barnsley 0. And taking the free kick will be Luca Connell. He passes straight away to Jordan Williams. Williams goes for a cross into the 18-yard box, headed away by Bolton, but we're given straight back to Barnsley. It's now with Adam Phillips. Phillips gives the ball away to Bradley, and it goes over the line. That was a good set. That was a good setup by Barnsley to get into the 18-yard box, but Bolton were just there at the last minute to try and put a stop to it. Sheehan to Dempsey, but given away to Luca Connell, and a Bolton player has gone down. It's the captain, Santos, and I think Tadic has gone down as well. Santos recently recovered from injury. Has it come back to haunt him? And Tadic could also be injured as well. They clashed heads. And that's why both of them are being looked at and treated by the physios right now. For Santos looks pretty winded, and the Bolton fans now starting to look pretty anxious. So too is the chairman, Sharon Britton. If Bolton are to have Ricardo Santos substituted, this could well be a bitter blow. This could well be a bitter blow to Bolton. This could well be a bitter blow to Bolton's chances. But meantime, Slobodan Tedic is up on his feet. He looks okay. But the Bolton crowd understandably concerned for their captain Ricardo Santos. I just saw get back up on get back up onto his feet. So it looks like he will be able to carry on playing for the time being. It's George Johnston passing to Randall Williams. Williams to Aaron Morley. Now Morley passing back to Johnston. Now straight back to Santos. Santos now trying to play the ball forward. It's Tual back to Santos. Santos passes to Johnston, and the ball's now being played down wing to Randall Williams, but tackled by Barnsley, and that was a foul by Kyle Dempsey. on a Barnsley player. I couldn't see who it was. But Dempsey having a stern talking. But Dempsey given a stern talking to by the referee. It was on Herbie Kane. I think the referee was saying, any more like that, and you'll be given a yellow card for certain. A free kick to Barnsley, and it will be Luca Connell, to take the free. Luca Connell will take the free kick for the Reds, and he kicks the ball straight into the 18-yard box, picked up by Kitching, but I think it was kept out by Bolton. The ball now is being played in the 18-yard box by Adam Phillips. It's back towards Kitching, but headed away by Santos. And it's still 0-0 after 62 minutes at the University of Bolton Stadium. Phillips to take the corner. And Ian Everts now in conversation with one of the Bolton substitutes that looked like Victor Adebayo. Phillips kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, picked up by Devante Cole, and straight to, I couldn't see who it was. It was Nicky Cadden, and Barnsley have taken the lead. Something had to give, but I was not expecting Nicky Cadden to come straight out of the blue and put the Reds in front. And that is Nicky Cadden's 6th goal of the season in his 41st appearance. Nobody knew he was there. Devante Cole was wise to pass to him, and Cadden at the first opportunity fired it in with his left foot. The Bolton defenders could do nothing to stop him, and Barnsley lead by 1-0. Remember, they have not won a league match at the University of Bolton Stadium. Their last league match win against Bolton was all the way back in 1994 when Bolton played at Pikes Lane. Bolton need to shake this off as soon as possible and get themselves back into the game. A couple of Bolton substitutes are about to be made. Josh Sheehan will make way for Kieran Lee, and I think Victor Adebayo will, and I think coming on for Victor Adebayo, in place of John Charles will be Victor Adebayo. We'll yet to see who Adebayo will come on for. It's Elias Kachunga who will be substituted. He's been involved in quite a few scrapes this season. It's actually Dan in London. It's actually Dan in Lundulu. It's actually Dan and Ludu, the 24-year-old on loan from Southampton, who comes onto the pitch for the Trotters. And Phillips tried to take the ball away from Kieran Lee, but it went over the line for a throw. Bolton now back in play with Kieran Lee. Lee passes to Aaron Morley. Morley to Tual. Now Johnston. Back to Tual. And Tual passes to Trafford in the goal area. Back to Aaron Morley. Now the ball is back with Santos. He passes down wing to Randall Williams. Barnsley have had 3 shots and 1 on target. Bolton yet to find a single shot on target. Yet they are still in front in terms of, yet they're still in front when it comes to possession, as the Trotters are now trying to get close to the 18-yard box. Kieran Lee with the ball for Bolton. He passes down wing to Williams. Williams in towards the 18-yard box, and it's in! Bolton have equalised! Have we got a game on our hands or what? It might have actually been a Barnsley own goal, but Bolton are claiming it. I couldn't quite see who the goal scorer was. We'll find out in a moment or two. Kieran Lee did really well to pass down wing to Randall Williams. Williams sent the ball. Williams crossed. And I think it might have been Dion Charles who got the final touch. We're just gonna have another look at it. Yes, it was Dion Charles, and that is his 21st of the season. His career, the best number in his career in terms of how many goals he scored this season. So this game still being evenly matched with some 22 minutes to go. Barnsley will restart the game, but a flare has gone down onto the pitch. I couldn't see where it had been thrown down, but the fans still haven't learned that the use of flares is dangerous and illegal, and that is why players had to be momentarily stopped. But it was dealt with very swiftly by the referee and other match officials, as opposed to other matches before where it has taken longer. Bolton back in play with the ball though, and it was intercepted by Barnsley. It's now with Toal for Bolton, I should say, and now it goes over the line for a Barnsley throw. But even though the score is 1-1, even though the score is 1-0, it can still change within the next 20 and a half minutes. Dion Charles was in the right place at the right time to send it in. But Barnsley are on the hunt for a second. Headed out by Santos straight towards Phillips, but a Barnsley player has been fouled. Shouts for a penalty are waved away. Barnsley could yet score a second, but kept out really well by Bolton. Dan and Ludulu tried to get the ball away, but it was tackled by Barnsley. And that gameplay was really frenetic. Good header by Santos to keep the ball out, and it was actually Connor Bradley who fouled, who I think fouled Herbie Kane, and a series of rebounds kept the ball out. It's a corner. It'll be a free kick, I should say, to Barnsley. I think that's the best decision. Adam Phillips looks like he's going to take the free kick for the Reds, or is it going to be Nicky Cadden who scored earlier? It's Adam Phillips, but blocked by Bolton. Barnsley couldn't take advantage of the rebound. They're still trying, as it's Adam Phillips crossing into the 18-yard box, but headed over the line by George Johnston, and Bolton need to start just throwing everything at the Barnsley attack in order to keep them at bay. Yet they also need to keep playing themselves further forward. This was the first, and I think James Trafford is being spoken to by the referee. I think he may well have collided with somebody. A Barnsley player is down on the ground. I can't quite see who it is. I think it might be Liam Kitching or Bobby Thomas. We'll just have to see. As Michael Duff now has a quick talk with several of his players, who also take advantage to have a drink. Will take the chance to have a drink. Ian Evans is doing no such thing at the present moment, and yes, it is Bobby Thomas who was checked over by the physio. Will he be substituted? We will have to decide on that later. We'll have to find out who it is, and we'll have to find out who may substitute him. But it looks as though he'll be able to carry on playing, and indeed he is. Randall Williams with the ball now for Bolton. Williams tries to play the ball forward, but intercepted by Adam Phillips. It's Adam Phillips to Devante Cole, but that was a timely interception by Ricardo Santos. Throw in to Bolton now and Barnsley, and it will be Bobby Thomas that will take the throw. He looks for the best player to throw it to, headed by Tedic, but kept out by Bradley, and the ball is now being played back to Harry Isted. Tries to play the ball forward to Barnsley, but the ball is just caught at the last moment by Twal, and it's out for a Bolton throw. Because I think somebody from Barnsley just tapped it out at the last moment, and Victor Adebayo looks like he's going to make his way down onto the touchline to come onto the pitch. So throw in by Bolton. Ball now being thrown to Dan Lundulu, but tackled by Barnsley, courtesy of Nicky Cadden. And Cadden is now flat on his back. That was a collision with Connor Bradley. Slide tackle. I think he was aiming for the ball, but he unintentionally, I am sure, caught Nicky Cadden unawares. Cadden still able to carry on playing. 75 minutes have been played, and it's still Bolton 1, Barnsley 1. Throw in to be taken by Barnsley. Ball now being thrown by Thomas into the 18-yard box, but well held defensively by Bolton. The ball now being played to Harry Isted by Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams loses the ball to Bolton. Now it's with Adam Phillips. Phillips to Williams, but tackled by Johnston. And I think that will be a free kick or a corner to Barnsley. Williams gets tangled up. Williams got tangled up with Johnston. So it's a corner to Barnsley to be taken by Luca Connell. Connell looking for the best place to put the ball. He looks over the corner, raises his hand to signal that he's ready. The ball now being played in towards Adam Phillips. The setup was good, but Phillips just couldn't convert it. Nice bit, and Bolton were quick to defend that one, or Phillips was just unable to send it in. His shot was too powerful, and Adebayo looks like he's going to come on and take it, and he'll be taking the place of Dion Charles. So Bolton have made three. So Bolton will have made 3 substitutes, and on comes Victor Adebayo, the Nigerian, sprinting rapidly onto the pitch. It's Ricardo Santos for Bolton. He passes to George Johnston. Johnston passes down the wing to Randall Williams. Now it's back with now the ball is back with Johnston. Johnston to Santos. Santos now to Toal. Toal now passing to Dempsey. The ball I think is with Kieran Lee. Now back to Toal. Ricardo Santos. Johnston back to Santos. Toal. Now the ball is with Kieran Lee, I think. Now back to Toal. Toal. Santos again, though he has to watch out for Cole. Johnston. A good cross by Johnston towards Lundulu, but kept out by Barnsley. After just over 78.5 minutes, it's still Bolton 1, Barnsley 1. A corner now given to Bolton, or is it just going to be a throw-in? It's a throw-in to Bolton to be taken by Randall Williams. Williams throws, but headed up by Barnsley, and it's kept out, and it's kept out of the goal area. The ball now caught by James Trafford. Trafford plays the ball forward to Lundulu. Now it's with Williams. Back to Lundulu. Lundulu passes to Lee. Back to Lundulu, who did well to hold off Bobby Thomas. Who did well to hold off Bobby Thomas momentarily. And now it'll be a throw-in, and it'll be another throw-in to Bolton and Randall. I mean, Randall Williams throws to Lee, but Lee passes back to him. Santos to I think that was Kieran Lee again. Now the ball is with Adam Lee. Now Kyle Dempsey. Dempsey passing to Connor Bradley. Back towards Dempsey. Or should that back towards Dempsey, or should that be Owen Toal? Toal, that was really close to making it 2 for the Trotters. And it looks to me as though 2 substitutions for Barnsley are about to be made, bringing the total up to 4, I think. And off the field. And off the field will come Devante Cole. I think Devante Cole is going to be one of the players substituted. I think James Waters will be coming on as well. Max Waters, I should say, is coming on, and also coming off the pitch is Slobodan Tedic, who will have his place taken by James Norwood. So So onto the pitch comes both Norwood and Watters. Watters on loan from Cardiff City. Devante Cole taking his place in the stands. He came really close to either setting up or having a chance at scoring himself, but he was unlucky not to score on this occasion. Adebayo receives the ball after the throw-in. Bolton still managed to keep possession. The ball is now with George Johnston. Johnston passes to Santos. Now back to Johnston. Randall Williams. Now back again to Johnston. Santos again. Santos now passing to Toal. Toal has to find an opening. But he can only pass back. He can only pass back to Santos. Good defensive play by Bolton. Johnston back towards Santos. And now Randall Williams. Bolton are playing the ball forwards through Kieran Lee. Now back to Randall Williams. Williams has to hold off Thomas. But Thomas slide tackles the ball out. And that I'm sure will be a throw-in to Bolton. Bolton get ready to receive the ball. Or is it a corner? No, it's a corner to the Trotters. I beg your pardon. And it's Aaron Morley crossing the ball into the 18-yard box, headed away by Barnsley. The ball is now with James Norwood. Norwood tries to go around Johnston, but tackled by Dempsey. Dempsey trying to play the ball forward. Lundulu slips up, but he receives the ball. Lundulu now passing to I couldn't see who. It might well have been Connor Bradley. It was. Now the ball is firmly back with Santos. Santos to Johnston. Now back to Santos. Santos passes again to Johnston. Johnston to Toal. He's under pressure from Max Watters, but he did well to hold him off. And Bolton still have the ball. 6 minutes to go. Barnsley won. Bolton won. The score remains. Bolton won. Barnsley won. The score remains. It's Randall Williams to George Johnston. Johnston crossing to Kieran Lee. Lundulu almost sends it in, but defended by Barnsley really well. Nice bit of work. Nice work by the Barnsley skipper, Mads Anderson. Dempsey passes to I think that was George Johnston. Johnston now to Ricardo. Not Johnston now back. Johnston now to Ricardo Santos. Santos passes back to Johnston. Now Santos again. Toal now to Kieran Lee. Now back to Owen Toal. Toal now passes to Aaron Morley, who passes down wing to George Johnston. Johnston looking for Randall Williams. Randall Williams almost picks up the ball, but it went over the line, and he's given a throw. Williams throws to Lundulu, Kieran Lee, I should say. Now the ball is with Aaron Morley. Morley to Ricardo Santos. Santos crossing the ball into the 18-yard box, but Connor Bradley wasn't close enough, and in the last 10 minutes, Bolton have had the majority of possession with 81%. Barnsley trail behind on 19%. Bolton haven't used their numerical possession advantage to retake the lead. They should have done so. They should have done so on a couple of occasions, but but circumstances just went against them, and it's almost that time for me to consider who my player of the match should be. There are quite a few contenders from both sides, but I will let you know who they are. But I will let you know who will be my player of the match in due course. Throwing to be taken by Bobby Thomas for Barnsley. He throws, and the ball is now given to James Norwood, but intercepted by Bolton, and it goes back to Barnsley through Anderson. The ball now kept out by Isted because a Bolton player was closing in on the ball. The ball is now with Jordan Williams, but kept out by Randall, but kept out by his namesake Randall Williams. And it's gone over the line, and it's gone over the line, and it will be a corner to the Reds. So I think shortly after this corner, I will let you know who my player of the match will be. Corner to Barnsley with just under 2.5 minutes to go. Everyone trying to get into position. The ball goes into the 18-yard box, almost picked up by James Trafford. Barnsley couldn't take advantage of the rebound, and Bolton have kept this one out. So the setup was good. Almost caught in the hands of Isted and headed out really well. The rebound headed out by Santos. So it will be another corner to Barnsley with just under 2 minutes remaining. Luca Connell, it will be to take the corner. He waits for the right moments. He waits for the right moment so as to put the ball in. He raises his hands. He kicks it into the 18-yard box, and it's just about picked up by Thomas towards Adam Phillips, but kept kept away by Randall Williams. Not for long. Barnsley tried to rebound, but Bolton still held firm, and Barnsley now going for another attempt, but it goes over the line for a goal kick, and I can now reveal that my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, is Barnsley's Devante Cole. Cole did really well in setting up a few. Chances for the Titans to go in front. He even had a go himself on more than a few occasions, but he just couldn't get there. The thing is, he never gave up, and that is why I'm giving him my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services. So well done to Devante Cole. Another corner to Barnsley. So it's time to be taken by Adam Phillips. Phillips kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, and it's now with Nicky Cadden, but it goes over the crossbar. Nicky Cadden could well have been another contender for my player of the match, but apart from scoring that one goal, he didn't do much else in my book. And 6 minutes have been added on for injury time. That is, I'm sure, to do with the two players that went down. One of which was Ricardo Santos. The ball is now with Aaron Morley. Both sides now have a golden opportunity to retake the lead with 5.5 minutes of injury time remaining. It's still Bolton 1, Barnsley 1, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, as Bolton take the throw in through Johnston. Johnston to Santos, now back to Johnston. George Johnston, I think, has done really well. He was certainly among my choices, and so too is Randall Williams. Williams tries to cross into the 18-yard box, but the ball but the ball is blown away, and it goes back to a Barnsley, but re-intercepted by Randall Williams. Williams passes to Santos, and now Santos passes to Owen Toal. Toal tries to pass to Lundulu, but it was almost taken away by Barnsley. Lundulu managed to hold on to the ball though, and it's still with Lundulu, but he has to pass back to Toal. Toal now to Aaron Morley, back to Toal. Now Ricardo Santos. Santos passes down the wing to George Johnston. Now it's with Randall Williams. Williams passes again to Santos. Santos back to Toal. Toal now to I think Dempsey. Now it's with Aaron Morley. Morley trying to cross forward to Lundulu, but nothing comes of it as the ball has gone over the line. Lundulu will take the throw for Barnsley. Michael Duff looking very intent. Michael Duff looking very anxious. I think a Barnsley player has been fouled. It's Luca Connell. Luca Connell, I think, has been fouled, but he's trying to do all those stretches just to keep himself going. And Duff now looking to make his way back. And Duff now looking to make his way back forward onto the pitch. And to the Barnsley fans, even though they may be disappointed just to go away, even though they may be disappointed to go back home with a point, it could be very crucial come the second leg, as Barnsley get the game restarted through the throw-in. The ball is now being taken back by Bolton. Is it going to go towards Adebayo? No is the answer. As Anderson was able to get there before he did, and so the ball has gone over the line for a Barnsley throw with nearly a minute to go. With nearly 2 minutes to go, I should say. It's still Bolton 1, Barnsley 1. Liam Kitching to take the throw. Liam Kitching to take the throw for the Reds. Kitching throws to I think that was Nicky Cadden, but it goes over the line again. It will be another throw in to Barnsley and Liam Kitching. Liam Kitching runs up, throws. He throws to I think that's Ricardo Santos, but it goes through the legs of Max Waters. Barnsley retake the ball, and the ball is now firmly back with Luca Connell. Now it's with James Norwood, or is it? No, it was Herbie Kane who had the ball. I do apologise. And it's all down to the last 60 seconds. Can Barnsley sneak in a last minute? Can Barnsley sneak in a last minute goal in the dying seconds of this game? They have to get this throw in sorted out quickly if they are to do so. It's Bobby Thomas. It's Bobby Thomas to take the throw, and the ball goes straight into the 18-yard box, headed away by Ricardo Santos. Now Dempsey, give him back to Barnsley. It's now with Jordan Williams, who passes to Herbie Kane. Kane to Luca Connell. Connell has to go around Morley. Is it going to go to Anderson? No. It looks, and I think Barnsley have run out of time to retake the lead, and it looks as though it will be all square going into the second leg. We're now into the We're now into the 96th minute as Randall Williams gets ready to take the throw in, but or does he? The full-time whistle has been blown, and I have to say this game was a lot more tense and action-packed than what we saw than what we saw between Peterborough United and Sheffield Wednesday last night. It might not have resulted in as many goals, but it still kept me glued to my seats nonetheless. The final score at the University of Bolton Stadium is Bolton Wanderers 1, Barnsley 1, and it will be all to play for in the second leg. Well, that just about wraps up our coverage of this match on the Commentary Hub. But before we go, a couple of games to plug for, a few games to look forward to on Sunday. Everton take on Manchester City in the Premier League at 2:00. Join JB Stossard and Russ Vernon. It's also Arsenal against Brighton and Hove Albion. Join Paul James and Russ for that one. And tomorrow it is the second League Two playoff semi-final first leg match between Bradford City and Carlisle United. And I will be your man behind the microphone for that one. But I've just remembered that before we go, we're going to confirm the final results of today's Premier League action. Remember, I mentioned in half-time that Leeds and Newcastle United drew 2-2, and the final results have come in. It's Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 2, Crystal Palace 2, AFC Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, and finally Southampton 0, Fulham 2. And Southampton's fate is all but sealed. They will likely be relegated to the Championship, but what will be worth keeping an eye on tomorrow is who will be leading after Sunday. Will it be Manchester City or will it be Arsenal? Remember, join JB and Paul for their respective games tomorrow. Thank you all for listening. I've been Nicholas Jones, and I look forward to bringing you coverage. And I look forward to covering the playoff match between Cardiff between Bradford and Carlisle. So until then, goodbye from us all.